Hello everyone, I'm Sassy Latte. I just wanted to take a quick moment for the first time ever on my Patreon, which I've had for 2 years this month, finally make an introduction video. So many of you guys have already been here for a long time, here with me, supporting me, and just vibing with me in this space. So this video is really kind of for people who are coming to the space for the first time, and maybe they know a little bit about my work on Instagram, but they don't know much about Patreon in general. So I wanted to kind of just open that conversation up with the video on here instead of my nice, long, meaty bio that I've written. So for those of you who don't know, Patreon is essentially a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite content creators, no matter what kind of content they create, through a monthly patronage. I really got turned on to the concept because I grew up in Europe, I grew up in Germany, and it really reminded me of like medieval artists and how a lot of medieval artists back in the day, that's analog old school content and entertainment, a lot of them made a living and survived because of patronage that people were supplying to them so that they could keep their work and their content, so to speak, sustainable. And that's essentially what Patreon is allowing us to do in modern day times. It allows us to support our favorite content creators outright without us having to rely on a commission or branded collaborations. I started my Patreon page because I was having really intense political conversations on social media, and I just really wanted a safe space that these conversations could be preserved, they could be valued, and people could actually feel comfortable enough to engage in a critical and like almost risky manner. What I've always experienced when people discuss politics is that there's always a level of discomfort that comes along with the challenge. And on social media, my purpose is always to challenge what people have been taught, what we've been learned, what we understand, what we know, and what we expect, so that we can pave a way for a more equitable future for marginalized people. For me, social justice is always about maintaining conversation so that we can enlighten one another and then forge our way into action with a sort of enlightened and more critical understanding of circumstances so that we can change them. I firmly believe that like we can't change the future if we don't really fully understand the past and how that has created a present. I think a lot of the change that's happened over the years has always been almost minimal or insignificant, or there always comes with a little twist. And I think that the twist always happens, and the twist being specifically the ways in which marginalized people are left out of change or harmed by change that's meant to be progressive. I feel like that twist always happens because when we're formulating action and moving into the future, trying to create equity and trying to create safety for marginalized people, we don't understand what's actually happening. We don't understand the history of people. We don't understand the oppression that people experience, and we don't know how to handle our discomfort or unpack our privilege. So I really wanted to have a space online where we could have all of those conversations simultaneously, and I wanted to have a safe space where people could completely fuck up, make mistakes, but also learn how to be accountable and make amends with one another as they move forward, more informed, more equipped to fight for the rights of themselves and also for their marginalized family. So, and by family, I don't mean always biological. I really just mean the people that you hold dearest to your heart, whether it's a neighbor or a complete stranger on the street that you just want to see living a safe life. So I just wanted to really start having critical conversations. And if you guys know social media, you've got the algorithm hiding content from people who are already in the community. You've got people who take their discomfort and really turn it into tangible, hate and violence. And so content gets removed when it's not hidden, and so forth and so on. And so I turned to Patreon because I wanted a safe space where we can still maintain those conversations. We can still forge a way to the future and actually like activate towards real change. And I also wanted to have a space where we can not only have conversations, but where I could put resources and tools for people to be able to not only learn, but take what they've learned and share with other people as well. And so my Patreon has really grown and it's evolved and it's changed over the past 2 years, but my reason for holding this space remains the same. I really want a safe space because I firmly believe in the power of conversation and education and the power of political discourse and being politically informed. And I believe in the power of maintaining a safe space for marginalized stories and experiences and truths to be spoken into power. The other reason that Patreon is super important is that it allows for my free content, because I do believe that my personal educational and informational content should be accessible regardless of your income. It helps me to keep that content free. Content creation, despite its consumption en masse, is actually really expensive to create. So allowing me to just live my life, be able to care for my kids on a financial level, and also take a portion of that to be able to have what I need to create free content so that it can be consumed and we can educate people regardless of their access to finances, is a super huge priority to me. And I would love your help in being able to maintain that as an option. So I hope that you guys will consider joining this community. I love the work that I do. No, it is not a job, but it is a lot of work. Contributing to my Patreon helps me keep my kids in school so that I'm available to create more content for you all. It also helps me with daily things like buying groceries, or when my 4-year-old has another growth spurt, which seems to happen every 3 weeks. The money that I get here actually just helps me to live my life so that I can keep holding these conversations and keep holding people accountable and keep pushing towards the future to start actually creating ground level up change, rather than hoping that change will happen at the top and trickle down to those of us who are multiply marginalized, which we know does not happen. So if you guys join our this Patreon family, this community here, you guys will get tokens of gratitude. All of the rewards are described somewhere below, maybe to the left, I'm not really sure. You guys can check out the rewards for yourself. That's just my way of saying thank you. If ever you have any questions, please message me, email me. All of my contact information, where you can find me, is below. I love talking to you guys because, again, this is so important to me as a conversation, and that I think conversations are truly what changes people. As always, I really hope everybody feels welcome here. I hope you guys feel welcome to speak up, speak out, ask a lot of fucking questions, fuck up, get messy, make mistakes, be as problematic as you need to be so that you can figure shit out. And then once you feel confident, I hope that I can inspire you to be motivated and activate outside of just online discussions, but in the real world around you. As I always say, please have the best day that you can, whatever the fuck that looks like for you, because I know a good day is different for everyone. And I will hope to catch you somewhere in this community. And take it easy.